Good work. A bit slow on the on the on the what?
Hmm?
I would say good work, but Fassel a bit slow on the cav stuff. Even though you were doing, it was okay, but they already had that big ass army, you know? So basically, whenever we see a big ass army, it's about mucking up that area in mid. Just muck it up with a bunch of shit. Buildings and like guard tower here and there and just muck it up to just give you more time. Doesn't mean that we have to take up all that real estate either and just build shit buildings. It's just that, they were already dealing with mid and then they're going to have to deal with some stuff on the side. But as long as you keep them off kilter, they're never going to be able to necessarily attack. Like they'll always be off kilter. And more importantly, the prime players who want the prime real estate, they're the ones off kilter. And but overall, good job. They thought Persians Ellies. They didn't think that we would get overwhelmed by the
Camels?
yeah.
Nah. All I know is Ellie showed up. Resign!
Yeah. That was the fear factor. The Ellie fear factor. He's like, oh shit, he's got Ellie's man. We can't. But they were feeling the heat because there were so many. They had to figure out: shall I put Imperial camels on Fassal's pallies, or shall I attack your siege? And oh, by the way, given the pikes they had, I just overwhelmed them with even more cavalry. I'm like, okay, which
The
cavalry are you gonna go
Arbalists.
for?
The Arbalists were
Yeah,
there
and the
too.
Arbalists did their job. Like Arbalest did their job, and then you had like your siege. Basically, they had a hard time figuring out targets. And then, by the way, when they went for you, Fassel and I got all their onagers and shit. Then they were like, "Oh no, 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 no! Let's protect the onagers and shit." But then you were just wrecking them, destroying them, and then you outranged them. So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yo, Logan I just waited for Logan to. He was like garrisoning his onagers inside.
Oh no, I saw that.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him.
That's why the Rams went for the workshops. I see the flag. I'm like, there's onagers in there. How much you want to bet there's onagers in there?
But the thing is, he was doing that a while back, quite earlier too. Like once he got hit once or twice, he started doing that, and I would send like always a few cavalry in there just so he brings them out. The moment he bring them out, that's when I did a big charge, like everything in that corner. Yeah, and the pikes were on one side, and his onagers were being built on the other. That's and their whole setup was bad. I already with the scouting I did, I already knew where the infantry was gonna stream in from and where the onager was gonna stream. So I know we were good.
Yeah.
All right, so that was pretty good. So Fassel got a hand. Also, Fassel, you just hit ready, just like that. So how you guys want to do this? I still think Fassel needs to still get, he still needs to be mobile, he still needs to be strong, he still needs to be like active. So whatever our primary cavalry, I think all of that's it, from infantry, skirmishers going into cavalry, that's Fassel. Fassel's gonna continue to do that.
I'm cool with that.
So the question really is if you want me to do the supporting and then you do the frontline type of things with a couple of things. I mean, I don't know. How do you want to do that? Or we can still keep the same. I don't know how you felt that game.
It was okay.
Because as long as I'm not the one contesting mid, we okay. If I did it, they would be like, "Oh, blue deny us. Oh, blue." So I'm actually okay. I'm okay with you doing it.
All I know is I was like, oh, everyone prepare for a cavalry charge! This wall is going down! They come forward, and then there's a second wall.
Yeah, that was great. Great. I was like, yeah.
I was like, but I already got you covered. They already did this once.
That was good defense. That was a great defense.
Yeah.
That frustrated them for sure.
Oh, I know.
That's when they were like, you know what? Let's build all this shit and
Hit
send
fast.
the shit ball. Yeah, and and now they're like, oh yeah, well let's do it. Let's attack Fassel earlier. Bruh, two of you guys were already dealing with stuff in mid, and what you're gonna have Sharky go in and he's gonna lose his cab just like that. And what Logan was gonna go in, and he's slow because wood is scarce. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
I had no wood issues at all.
Yeah. Well, good thing is that you know it was. By the way, guys, remember it was a counter attack we did.
Hmm.
We first dealt with their shit, and then we came in. So, and that's basically how it's gonna be. You'll see like a shit ball. We just need to call it out, have the right units kind of there, and then the support player just we protect you, and then just you take out all their shit, and we just be the front line together, and then yeah, counter,
Yeah.
do the counter attack. I hope they figured out that the real estate is a big problem.
Especially when they're building fucking walls from left side to the right side.
Oh my god. Just, I don't even know why like that. All that stone.
No, it wasn't stone. It was the house walls. Did you see that
Oh
from
yeah, yeah,
Munson?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That's
Munson
right. That's
walled
right.
off his whole area.
Yeah. Oh well. That's not how were you doing on resources?
I was fine. There's a few moments where I was like, I think after they attacked us, I was like short on wood and stuff like that. But then I fixed it.
Yeah, but my point is you had the pallies, right? Like you needed a
Yeah,
lot of pallies.
I didn't have a problem getting those guns.
Okay.
In the beginning, when I only had like 20 carts, then there was a throughput issue. But then I was at 42.
Yeah, all I'm saying is because there was a time where I needed to mass produce camels and pallies because you weren't there as much, and Sharky was like, you know.
Well, he took out all my stables in the. Those guys took out all my stables in first
Yeah,
rush.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So you need to make sure that even though you have some buildings in the front, you will never really have stables in the front. Your stable should always be kind of like by on the backside because you've got horses. They can come very quickly. What should be up front is mostly the barracks and archery ranges and stuff like that. Like you should have like 6 or 7 stables in the back, and that's it.
Sharky was
Stables should never be in
Byzantines.
the front. Oh, they're like, well, we don't want gold and we want cheap and Sharky. For you to attack early, you need cheaper units.
No, they're
Yeah,
thinking cataphracts.
maybe I don't know. Maybe.
I guarantee you, every time Byzantine comes up, it's cataphracts and pallies. Every time.
Hmm.
But you never see the cataphracts.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. We won't. He's just saying, hey man, my early ego sucks. So they're like, okay, well, you get cheaper units. I know these guys, they're just thinking, hey, they're cheaper they get cheaper units, infantry, that's what we want to do. Clear out that area in front of Fassel, and then we'll attack from there. Oh, as you typically, again, scouting has to happen.
Yeah. FYI, you missed the berry bush in mid, but
I waited till I cleared out more than one, so or more than that one, then I went in.
Oh, okay.
Vietnamese and
What am I?
Byzantines.
Yeah, they're playing for the early game.
What do you suggest?
How do you feel about the toots?
Fine. All right, I'll toot it up. Toot toot.
Mayans. Man wants to run around with eagles.
Yeah, it's that early game. You want to rush
Fine.
early.
What do I want to do? Hmm. 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 Mayan, Byzantines, Vietnamese.
So just as a point, Pallies destroy eagles anyway.
I know.
So
So I'm still pally duty.
mhm.
Hmm. How about Chaps, maybe? No, I need better siege.
Any recommendations, Kharam?
How about Ethiopians?
What do you envision with the Ethiopians?
Same thing I did last time. Archers and siege.
Okay. Are you going to be able to secure mid with that?
Yeah, I got stack siege. I got stack siege, so I'll be able to get in easily enough. I have halberdier uh, and elite skirm.
If you want to do that, you can do that. If you like,
I like playing random shit. You know this.
I'll work around it. So you can do that if you like. Hey yo, even if you get one castle up, you Gucci, bro.
Indeed. The show tells shall rain upon them.
Yeah.
The silts.
Um,
Oh dear lord.
Dear Lord.
well, I didn't want to pick the other one, which would be even worse. The Saracens would be even worse.
Oh dear Lord.
I want him to build Scorps. You feel me?
Yeah. You mean like I did last game?
Yeah, but I want him to go with more Scorps than usual, so that your onagers.
Down the Ethiopian to do that work, man.
Yeah. Vassal, you know, multiple groups of like, and by multiple groups, I don't mean like 7 or 8. I mean 20 each, like 2 groups of 20 pallies like that. Your job's like, when my shit goes in, you're flanking and taking out all their shit in the back and forcing him to make decisions. I'll be working the siege. Basically, Salman pushes through, and then, you know what I mean? It's like you did
Yeah.
last game. But in the meantime, you still have to do that early game. That early game securing and is going to be key. Salman's really the only guy on wood, like mostly on
I
wood.
lost you there.
Salman's
Couldn't
mostly
hear.
on wood. You and me are
Can you,
both food
can you hear
coal.
him, someone?
Yeah.
I think I can't hear him.
I don't know what to. Can you hear me?
I can
Hello?
hear you.
Shit, I lost.
I'll pause when we get him.
Oh, it's good, man.
You good? I already paused it.
He paused it.
Food, please. Wood, please.
I'll beat you back to Age of Empires.
What age are you in? Retreat now. Attack player 1. Don't resign. You can resign again. You can resign again. Don't resign. Use an onager to cut down trees at the flared location. Focus on training warships. Delete excess warships. Stop training counter units.
Say something.
Something.
Okay, I hear you guys.
Gold, please.
Are we good?
Wood, please. Food,
Yeah.
please. No.
Okay. So
Yes.
Vassal, you have to play similar game but better. And have to scout to make sure if they're attacking early or not, or what are they doing. One of the first signs, by the way, of any of that would be that they're heavily clearing out like all the boars.
Boars.
Yeah, if they're really clearing out the boars there, which is not a big deal. Somehow you still secure mid, and then you're kind of like angled towards
Yeah.
castle side. Yeah.
Eight up, scouts.
Stable going up.
Scouts are getting produced.
Same.
We're scout away. Second scout away.
Second scout away. Logan has two scouts and a halb up. Picked off one of Logan's vills.
Very nice.
Cool, cool.
Got Munsif here.
Sunrise is scouting. Clearing the boars.
Yeah, they're clearing the boars right now. Picked off one of Munsif villagers. Get away with it. Stupid halberdiers.
Au, Dindenganing, Salamnesh, Uzardishin Sijin, Dindenganing, Dindenganing, Dindenganing. Salamnesh,
Taking more scouts.
Dindenganing.
Cleared the boars from our area down here.
Copy. You see that Logan had the foundations for another TC up over here. Shogun and the TC up over here.
Oh.
Au. Gündenganing. 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 Gündenganing.
Trying to rush through this berry bush.
Okay.
Ow. Zigidjune. Salamne. Eş.
I'm in mid.
Ezazi sisitin. Ow. Salamne. Eş. Ow. Zigidjune. Ginbanyan. Ezazin sisitin. Ow. Efatse mewal. Ginbanyan. Salamne. Zigidjune.
Making more scouts.
Vassal, how's this going?
Ezazin sisitin.
Ready to
Ginbanyan.
break it.
Ow. Ginbanyan.
Breaking in now.
Ezazin sisitin. Ow. Salamne. Ginbanyan. Ginbanyan. Ginbanyan.
Broken.
Ginbanyan.
Okay, sending a villager to the corner. Queuing up a couple scouts.
They have a Vassal scout tower, and they're building a archery range there.
Sending more scouts.
Maybe you can build like a scout tower or something.
I don't see
Roger
much
that.
in the way of Logan's forward military presence, but I know he has it. I don't know where it's at though.
How to find it.
Yeah.
Come on, don't forget to get your market.
Thank you.
Au. Karadeniz Şallo. Gündenganing. Gündenganing.
Salamne. Ow. Ezazin Ma'adin kofar.
Clear up a scout tower. Right here.
Zigidjune.
Making more scouts.
Ginbanyan. Ginbanyan.
Maating kofarinen.
Need to get my woodcutter count up.
Ow. Eshi.
Au. Gündenganing.
I got 10 farmers, 36 lumberjacks.
Selamneş.
I've got 10 farmers and 15, actually, shit, 7. Something happened, must have get killed,
Ginbanyan.
and 15. Fixing that right now.
Ginbanyan. 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 Gidjune. Peredi chihal. Ma'adin kofar. Ow. Abetaleke. Ezazin sisitin. Eshi. Ginbanyan. Ezazitin yetabekuno. Eshi. Abetaleke.
Forces
They're coming
starting to
in,
build up.
engage. They're coming in for an early engage.
Güzel şinsici. Gündengani, ngani. Gündengani. Selamneş. Gündengani.
Queued up my first trade cards.
But get your cart, mark it up. Starting to pop out some forces to mitigate.
Logan's just losing his army right now. Once it's queuing up units.
Markets are up, by the way.
Gündengani.
What's the pings for there?
Gündengani. Selamneş. Güzel şinsici. Au. Karadit eşallu.
Flanking force set up right now. Cavalry.
2 scouts from Sharky.
All right. Sending a scout out.
Gündengani. Selamneş.
That's what's going on.
Güzel gündengani. Gündengani. Pezzo novello.
Queuing up large amount of units again.
I have this force for you whenever you call for it.
Yeah, I see.
They're trading.
Vassal can do a quick scout rush.
Copy. Scout rush coming up.
I'm engaging his halberdiers.
Oh, they got the onager.
Taking out the onager. Let me know if you need another rush.
Can you snipe that onager in the back? Just a couple scouts.
Okay.
Show's got a lot of skirms out here exposed. Nice pick on that onager.
It was moving like a retard.
Of course it was, I saw. Queuing up two onagers on that forward seat workshop. Almost to the stone in the center.
Okay. good.
En jet falajni.
Going for the onagers. Going for the skirmishers and the onager. Going for the onager.
Dropping the monitors.
Originate.
Improving my food situation. Setting a scout rush. Okay, see all the right here. Creating more cavalry. Sending in
Starting
Cavalry.
to switch to some arbalists.
Yeah, on the skirmishers is great.
Selamneş. Madin kafarne.
Starting to mine the stone.
Good.
sending scouts to intimidate the onagers.
Usazi shinsuki. Ow. Bindengani.
Dropping out my onagers.
Coming in. The backup.
They have rams, by the way.
100 rounds. Going after him.
Don't get too overzealous. There's helps there. Though, they're getting cleaned up by my arms.
Ow. Selammet. Bindengani.
Building castle here.
Copy.
Hey vassal, if you need stone,
Alright. Kind of doing a number here.
oh nice.
Hey, he's building a ton of siege workshops coming from this side, just
Yep.
FYI.
I know. I saw that.
Okay, they're light. They're light and mid. I'm gonna send my cavalry in.
I'm gonna target those helps. Send them the siege forward.
Usazi bindengani.
Gonna take a hit on their market real quick.
Bindengani.
Get them distracted. Little incursion force right here.
Your tower is down.
Building up my cavalry again. Working their markets. Going for the rams. Winsif is making champions now.
Don't know why, but okay.
He seems to resolve to champions for some reason. Alright, 2 markets are down.
Nice, very nice. I'm at pop cap.
Hey, tons of Eagle Warriors coming from here.
Ping.
From
My
below. There looks like they're running for the eco.
Alright, I'm going.
I'll buy you time. He can do whatever he wants. Nothing. Useless. He's dead.
Making an incursion from this area.
Yeah, I'm supporting you with a couple units.
Send your forces away.
Roger.
Zindengani.
Au. Au.
Good work.
GG.
GG.
GG, guys.
Guys, how did you feel that the are you feeling that the teams are balanced here? Or you guys still
The
feel
map sucks. No offense.
say that again? They
It's. I'm sorry. I should take that back. The map it doesn't suit well for. We don't. Basically, it's too cramped. I'm like trying to get paladins to go up north, and they're just stuck. And it's one thing we're building, and it's just 4 players cannot fit in that area. And I don't really care to learn to be more efficient with 4 players. I can maybe if we split up and do 2-on-2 or something, but it's too cramped. Like Mutsif built all these buildings, and they're actually pretty organized. But then when someone else built, they didn't build with him, and then it's like we're comms for building is just shit, I guess, or something. Because it later in the game where all our units are just cramped, we can't move, and it's just it's stupid. I mean, but the other thing too is Mutsif, you should have called that you were battling up north, even further north with Fassel. Like that, no one said. And then once Fassel broke through, my market's getting hit. And I'm like, why didn't I'm getting a ping for that because obviously it's my market, and no one said anything. So we would have had someone maybe proactively getting defense over there, but I can't send units that are like stuck. So it's too cramped. Yeah.
I
so
called it many times, but it's just FYI.
Oh.
I called
Oh,
it many
okay.
times without
Nah,
knowing.
he didn't. Watch the
But
stream.
I think I did hear Munsif call it at least once.
I'm not gonna scream about it. I can't talk too
Yeah,
much
no,
about
remember he did call it.
Anyways.
He said he was battling, but then dude, there's a difference between contesting and also like making a major push with bombard towers. You didn't say anything of that. Like, hey, we got bombard towers.
Because
You
the
might have just said,
towers
"Hey, he's
weren't
over
there
here."
originally.
So- right, so it's contested, but then all of a sudden there's towers. So Munsif never said, "Hey, we got like a really big problem here."
Munsif
So-
beat it back.
Anyway,
Like,
And that's not the whole reason we obviously lost, so it's fine.
those towers it just came out after I was mentioning, are we just watching or should we do something?
Right. Right.
It just came out like 2 minutes ago, so don't make a big deal of it.
And that's okay. I mean, anyway, it's not a big deal because if Munsif called it and Munsif can't speak that loud, Shuaib, you knew, so you could have said, "Hey guys, like this is being attacked or this area is contested, or we got to do something about it," right? Like, I mean, somebody can say that. It's not all on Munsif to say it. Munsif kind of said, "Hey, this area is under attack." I mean, that's fine. That's
well, and
better
that's
than
another thing to say. Hey, we got guys in the middle not doing anything. I mean, so hey, send them up north. Tell us what to do with them. I mean, I'm always open for suggestions. Like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. I mean, we don't have to run the show the whole time. Shoaib doesn't have to be like, hey, we're pushing mid, or I have to run the show. I mean, you can run the show. Munsif, say, hey, it's a good idea. Let's push back Fassel up north. I mean, say something. Don't just like say, hey, why is no one doing anything?
I mean, hey, there's limited capacities, and again, I don't think Munsif can be that vocal at this point. I know earlier he could, but maybe he can't be as vocal at this point. So I can understand that, but Shoaib knew that too. So if Munsif gives a cue or two, Shoaib can be like more active about it, right? And I'm not expecting Sharky to be active about it because I guess he's not going to be active about it.
Not the reason we lost. I mean, I think from my perspective, at least from the get-go, I think obviously Salman came into mid early again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of we were expecting to some extent. So the whole point of switching Sharky and Munsif over was that the right front, which is I guess more like Fassel's front, I guess would
Right.
be like more active and more pressure there, right?
Right.
I'm obviously kind of like screaming, "Hey, Salman's here! Freaking, I need some help!" And then I notice on the other side there's like 0-4 building, 0 pressure, right? And the excuse I get is there's boards there, which I don't understand. I mean, if you scout there, I mean, especially early game when Salman was in mid, there wasn't that much necessarily there in terms of even army. I mean, it was mostly just Salman only, right?
But I guess wanna kill the force.
I'm just saying. I mean, my point is basically, Salman was able to freely get mid again, right, and lock us out.
Right.
And then at the same time, when I look on the other side, the whole point of Munsif and Logan there together was to, of course, which we talked about, was to kind of like move faster there, put pressure faster there, right? But that obviously didn't exist either, so we technically lost mid, and then by the time we came to the other side, right, it was kind of like too late anyway. So I mean,
Right.
in my mind, we kind of lost the game back then.
True. True. Agree.
Especially in a 4v3 of all, I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously the only other pair would be if me and Logan kind of went hard on the other side. That would be the other strategy, I guess, right? But
No, but I guess, but my point is that so just 2 minutes. One, the space issue would be kind of like for the most part addressed if you have access to the sides, the side areas, which means that eagle farming. By the way, Shoaib, when you came in with Eagle Warriors, like most of the farms all kind of are there, right? Like all our front area is not there. By the way, this is a 3-player template. So we've played 4v4 on this. Now, the only difference is that no one's just randomly going to decide to just come in and just like, and should be just building buildings. I mean, the thing is that, you know, there's certain buildings that take more, other buildings that don't take more. So it's really a matter of like saying that, okay, if a lot of our economy and everything is kind of like depressed and kind of like in the backside, that leaves us open in the front to be able to do the types of things we're doing now. I'll tell you this much. Some guy who's building Eagle Warriors doesn't have to be up front. Some guy who's doing cavalry, absolutely should not be building up front. So the only guys who are kind of infantry based and, you know, archery kind of stuff, like only those guys are kind of mostly up front.
well,
And
the
then-
other problem's our trade, right? I mean, obviously, looking at your guys' trade, which we kind of knew, like our trade is kind of running in the middle of the back of
Right.
the map, right? It's not like
Right.
horizontal like you guys have it, right? So,
Yeah, but the difference there is for example, like say because trade is just a natural consequence of that, but trade isn't the impetus for that. If you notice, even with 3 players, we're still trying to utilize the space. By the way, there's a reason I've left that whole area empty. So the importance there is that whoever happens to be originally there, they need to respect the guy that's building, like whose area that you send. So for example, you have like 4 players, right? So whichever quote unquote sector someone's in charge of, whoever's trying to go encroach into it, they have to have a little bit of a banter between them. Say, hey, listen, so how are you building here? So I'm going to build that, and that's it. He only says it once, because the other guys don't really need to. Like the other 2 don't really have to. So you would never really have a fully cramped anything, because your Eagle. By the way, great Civ choices. Eagle Warriors were great. Very mobile. Don't worry about it. I assumed the Byzantiums was like, hey, infantry, just have the infantry, and then the Vietnamese to kind of have the skirmishers. So honestly, you know, the guy that's doing heavy infantry and maybe the guy that's doing and I don't know, by the way, what role did you have Munsif do? Like Munsif was going to do what?
it's initially was more helps, right?
Okay.
In the early game, and then switching over to Ellie's later in the game.
So you expect Munsif to go barracks, and you expect Munsif to go stables. Those are the
Yes.
2 main buildings you're asking him to. Okay, and then on top of that, you expect Sharky to go barracks and the archery range. What stables for what?
Or his camp.
So he was gonna go Cav, and then Munsif was gonna go Elise. So okay, here we go. So I want you to think about this. You got 2 players who at a minimum are committed to now building, in a significant way, by the way, barracks, stables. But guess what? The guys are going to be building archery ranges for the Vietnamese bonus too.
Yeah, but me and Logan can build those too, which we were, right? I mean, I had archery.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that the units that are the buildings that are really going to matter. For Logan, the buildings that are going to really matter are just workshops. Pretty much. That's about it. He's not going to really do anything else. And unless you guys were winning, the siege workshops wouldn't necessarily always be in the front. They would be sort of like in the back. Okay? Even though they're slow. But that's fine. It's not like the game was super fast. But what I'm actually trying to highlight here is you've got 2 players who are supposed to have that presence and 1 person who had that sector. They have like, unless you told them not to build archery ranges. So for example, whoever, by the way, do you know who was supposed to be in that sector, that area? So you gave Munsif and you told Sharky to hold that area down, correct?
Oh no, they were opposite. Munsif and Sharkin were the opposite ends of the map this time.
But Sharky was the one really over there, or
No,
or was
Munsif.
it Munsif? Munsif was really primary there.
On 3 o'clock and
Okay, perfect. So what I'm saying is, Munsif will build, naturally speaking, he's going to build his all 3 types of buildings, by the way. So he's going to build the stables, he's going to build the archery range, and he's going to build the barracks. Which means, what the heck what? So Sharky was then supposed to also do barracks, because they're the slowest ever, and he has to cover that, get that area with the barracks. So for example, okay, so he was supposed to do that. Sharky's stables would never be present there at all. He would never make 1 stable in that side. So that's number 1. Number 2, between you and Logan would only have siege workshops, and they're sort of like in the back, and he wouldn't have that many either. He maybe have like 3, maybe 4 at most, but he would never have more than that. But that's about it. Most of his stuff would be in front of like mid center place where he would do it. Most of the siege workshops would primarily be over there. Which means, by the way, your barracks are also never going to be there, because you're building Eagle Warriors, and you're definitely not on infantry duty. So I'm just trying to figure out, how the heck is that area getting cramped in 4 people then? Like, it shouldn't technically. Organized or not organized, I'm removing the number of buildings you have there. So if anyone else, any other colors are building in front, it's a shit show that you of your own making. Not like one particular player or another player. It's just that, how are you gonna? I mean, Logan's whole purpose is siege. I mean, literally, that's it. Yeah, for the barrack stuff, you've got 2 players that you told go infantry based on the civ choices. Okay, and then you've got cavalry and elephants eventually. So all I'm saying is, you wouldn't see as much buildings, especially Munsif would have archery ranges by virtue of being there, because he'll do that. But Sharky would never really have any archery ranges there. You wouldn't have them, and neither would Logan. So if anyone had any other type of building other than the buildings they were going to support with, that's a problem. Right? So to me, I think that's the part that... And then, of course, if you had the economy running farms and all that shit running there, that's inherently a problem, too. So it is kind of like, again, opportunity cost. Do I clear up area, have a little organization, and now I've cleared that area to move forward? By the way, this map is set up for 4 players. So next week, if we have Dobo, we can expect 4 players. So all I'm saying is, however, I made the key to this map is I've created this thing about, do you want mid, or do you want the spaces the premium? Do you fight that? Alternatively, do you want to fight the sides? There's no right and wrong answer. It's just based on your team comp and your strategy as to how you want to do it based on your personnel. And based on that, you will have an opportunity as to how you want to. So the key thing is that while you're contesting, you're still doing other things, and while you're doing these other things in terms of like scouting and all this other stuff, you're opening up space so that wherever you're going to be running your campaign from, you actually have to kind of clear that area so that you can move your all your economy in the back, so that people have an opportunity to build in the area where they were originally farming. And for example, you could delete. So somebody has to have the will to delete their town center, delete their farms, because they moved everything in the backside, right? So now everybody has a lot of room and a lot of space. So I think those are kind of like important things to consider, and it's meant to have more comms. It's like more communication. But everything else was kind of like I think Shoaib, you kind of said it right on a couple of points. Um, and then if I will just say, if Munsif called out one thing, not a big deal. Everybody else chime in. I mean, people shouldn't just like say, "Hey, something's happening here," but then no one's really doing anything. And Munsif, for you, I would just simply say, if you can't really necessarily say too much, use the clicker to do the signaling, and then you
I
could
did.
do like, "Oh, you did. Okay, perfect." So to then at that point, it's just whatever. How you get rolled, you get rolled. That's irrelevant. That's not even an issue. I think Shrib kind of hit some points that I thought were important, and I think Logan, you mentioned some points about the space, which I think were also important. So being able to think about the space versus contesting and how to contest mid, I think is kind of like an important. Like, that's the opportunity cost that you have to kind of figure it out. Last question for you guys. Um, so I guess this is mostly for Schwabe and Logan. Logan, how did you feel about the teams? Do you still feel the teams are balanced, and it was just kind of like the map kind of thing, or because I guess I just want to figure out if it's you feel like changing the teams or rapidly is going to fix that, because I can easily do that. I can switch Fassel out real quick. And by
I
the way,
think.
that's something. Say that? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, no, I think you just more experience. Let's just keep playing it and try to like figure it out. I mean, I
Okay.
think
So
that's our.
okay. So we can give this go one last time.
I mean, I don't want to, but we
I,
can
I
do
did.
it.
I mean,
I
What's
don't want to
that?
play it again.
one of the teams I was thinking of was I switch with Logan and I do the support role like I was doing last week.
The only difference is I have to be much more active in a 3v4, and I don't want to really do that. I don't want to be that active. Like, I don't want to be that guy. So
Uh, I mean, I'll be taking that back seat too. So
no, but we're inherently outnumbered, and the two players are going to struggle.
fair enough.
That's the problem with the 3v4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my suggestion, my last suggestion is simply this: mobile forces don't have to build there. That's the biggest suggestion I'll tell you. Mobile forces don't have to build anywhere close to the front line at all.
Well, I mean, uh, actually, the last game we basically didn't even use any of those quadrants in the back behind the forest line, right? They were both
Really?
empty. Yeah, they were
Yeah, they
both
didn't.
almost empty. Right,
Shit.
because also we don't onager through there either, which is another issue. I think we know you guys were doing that, but I guess we should have done that too, right? So
The opportunity cost, remember.
yeah,
You,
no,
you
I
do
mean,
that, it takes more time, right? It
yeah,
takes
yeah, but
time.
my point is we had enough time to to do that, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, so
All
basically, I
right.
mean, if you take that area out of the map, that was basically not even being used, right? So obviously, all of our eco, our houses, our
Mm,
trade, everything
okay,
was
makes
in
sense.
the back. That's why we didn't have much space to build.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, all of this is going to help for the next week's map anyway, for everyone to be super organized. I'm expecting more comms from you guys. And whoever's the landing zone guy, whoever's the guy that's whose sector where the main attack's coming from, listen, man, you gotta communicate with your guys, leave space for your teammates, and you can't build helter skelter and just completely lock the area. Like, you just can't do it, because people are gonna be coming in and building in. So very, very key to communicate with your teammates and tell them what area is available for them to build. All right. So if everyone feels like, if okay, so Logan feels like, hey, it's not really a team thing. Shoaib, is it a team? Like, do you feel like the team is good,
Personnel
or
is just more like a communication and synergy issue and not using the map space.
okay? Is that something that just come with experience, or you want to switch your things, or what? I guess it's just an open question.
I mean, I don't think switching will really solve it.
Okay. Okay. So then we can just roll again.
Yeah.
All right. Switch channels. Let's go. Good civ choices, by the way.